Imagine losing a significant amount of weight without extreme dieting or hours at the gym. That promise has captured the attention of millions of people across the United States and around the world. Over the past few years, two medications in particular have dominated headlines, social media discussions, and doctors' offices. Ozempic and Mounjaro. Originally developed to treat type 2 diabetes, these drugs have quickly become some of the most talked about weight loss treatments in modern medicine. Celebrities, influencers, and everyday patients have shared stories about dramatic weight changes after using them. But as excitement grows, so do the questions. Which one actually works better? Is one safer than the other? And what does the latest scientific research from 2024 through 2026 really tell us about these powerful medications? In this video, we're going to explore the science behind Ozempic and Mounjaro, compare their effectiveness for weight loss and blood sugar control, discuss their potential side effects, and explain why doctors are paying close attention to the long-term impact of these drugs. To understand why these medications have become so popular, it helps to look at the problem they are trying to solve. Obesity and type 2 diabetes have become major health concerns worldwide. In the United States alone, millions of adults struggle with excess weight, which can increase the risk of heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and other chronic conditions. Traditional weight loss approaches such as diet and exercise remain essential, but for many people, they are not enough to achieve significant or sustainable results. This challenge has driven pharmaceutical companies to develop medications that target the biological mechanisms controlling appetite and metabolism. That is where Ozempic and Mounjaro come into the picture. Ozempic, which contains the active ingredient semaglutide, belongs to a class of drugs known as GLP-1 receptor agonists. These medications mimic a natural hormone in the body called glucagon-like peptide 1. This hormone plays several important roles in metabolism. It helps regulate blood sugar by stimulating insulin release when glucose levels rise, slows the emptying of the stomach so people feel full longer after eating, and signals the brain to reduce appetite. Because of these effects, many patients taking Ozempic notice that they feel satisfied with smaller portions of food and experience fewer cravings throughout the day. As a result, calorie intake often decreases naturally, which can lead to gradual weight loss over time. Mounjaro, on the other hand, works in a slightly different and potentially more powerful way. Its active ingredient, Tirzepatide, is known as a dual-action incretin therapy. This means it targets not just one hormone pathway, but two. Like semaglutide, Tirzepatide activates GLP-1 receptors. However, it also stimulates another hormone receptor called GIP, or glucose-dependent insulinotropic polypeptide. Researchers believe that this dual mechanism may enhance metabolic effects, improving blood sugar control while also producing stronger appetite suppression. This difference in how the drugs work has led scientists to investigate whether Mounjaro might produce greater weight loss than Ozempic. Between 2024 and 2026, several major studies compared these medications directly. One widely discussed study, published in a leading medical journal, analyzed data from thousands of patients receiving either semaglutide or tirzepatide for weight management and diabetes treatment. The results showed that people using tirzepatide often experienced greater average weight reduction than those using semaglutide. In some clinical trials, patients taking tirzepatide lost close to 20% of their body weight over time, while semaglutide users typically lost around 14%. Although both results are considered significant in the field of obesity medicine, the difference suggested that the dual hormone approach used by Mounjaro might provide stronger metabolic effects. Real-world data collected from hospital systems and healthcare networks have supported similar findings. Analyses of patient records from thousands of individuals indicated that people using Mounjaro were more likely to achieve major weight loss milestones, such as losing 10 or 15% of their body weight. In addition, average weight loss after 12 months of treatment tended to be higher for tirzepatide compared with semaglutide. However, experts also emphasize that results vary widely from person to person. Factors such as diet, physical activity, genetics, and underlying medical conditions can all influence how much weight a patient ultimately loses. Beyond weight reduction, both medications were originally designed to help manage type 2 diabetes, and they remain important tools for controlling blood sugar levels. Studies have shown that Mounjaro can significantly lower hemoglobin A1C levels, a key measure of long-term blood sugar control. In some trials, reductions of more than 2 percentage points were observed. Ozempic also produces strong glucose-lowering effects, typically reducing A1C by around 1 to 2 percentage points. For many patients with diabetes, this improvement can lower the risk of complications such as nerve damage, kidney disease, and cardiovascular problems. Despite these benefits, it is important to understand that these medications are not magic solutions. Like all drugs, they can cause side effects. The most commonly reported reactions for both Ozempic and Mounjaro involve the digestive system. Patients frequently report nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, or stomach discomfort, especially during the early weeks of treatment. These symptoms often improve as the body adjusts to the medication, but in some cases they can be severe enough for patients to stop treatment. Doctors usually recommend starting with a lower dose and gradually increasing it to reduce these effects. There are also rarer but more serious risks that researchers continue to study. Some patients taking incretin-based therapies have developed inflammation of the pancreas, known as pancreatitis. Others have experienced gallbladder problems, including gallstones. Because these medications slow stomach emptying, they may also worsen certain digestive conditions in susceptible individuals. Additionally, regulatory agencies require warnings about a possible risk of thyroid tumors based on findings from animal studies, although a clear link in humans has not been confirmed. For these reasons, medical professionals stress that Ozempic and Mounjaro should only be used under the supervision of a qualified healthcare provider. Another important issue emerging from recent research involves what happens when patients stop taking these medications. While many people experience impressive weight loss during treatment, studies suggest that a significant portion of that weight may return once the drug is discontinued. Researchers believe this occurs because the medications suppress appetite and influence metabolism while they are active in the body. When treatment stops, hunger signals and metabolic patterns may gradually return to their previous state. This finding highlights an important reality. Long-term lifestyle changes, including healthy eating and regular physical activity, remain essential for maintaining weight loss. The popularity of Ozempic and Mounjaro has also sparked conversations about access and cost. These medications can be expensive, and insurance coverage varies depending on whether they are prescribed for diabetes or weight management. Some healthcare systems have experienced shortages due to high demand, particularly as interest in medical weight loss continues to grow. As a result, researchers and policymakers are exploring ways to improve availability while ensuring that patients who need these treatments for diabetes can still obtain them. So, which medication is better? The answer depends on the individual patient and their medical goals. Current research suggests that Mounjaro may produce greater average weight loss in many cases, likely due to its dual hormone mechanism. However, Ozempic remains highly effective and has a longer track record of use. Both medications offer meaningful benefits for blood sugar control and weight management, but both also come with potential side effects and uncertainties about long-term outcomes. In the end, these drugs represent an important shift in how doctors approach obesity and metabolic disease. For decades, treatment options were limited, and many patients struggled without effective medical support. Today, medications like Ozempic and Mounjaro provide new possibilities for people trying to manage their weight and improve their metabolic health. At the same time, experts emphasize that medication should be viewed as one part of a comprehensive health strategy rather than a standalone solution. As research continues into 2026 and beyond, scientists are working to better understand how these therapies influence the body, how long they should be used, and which patients benefit the most. Future studies may lead to even more advanced treatments that provide the benefits of these drugs with fewer side effects. For now, the key takeaway is simple. Ozempic and Mounjaro are powerful medical tools, but like all treatments, they must be used carefully, responsibly, and with guidance from healthcare professionals.